Alright, so let's go down to the next one. This last one here is my ultra condensed credit block. It's actually used a lot. And the difference is, if you look really closely, you can see that the titles of the companies and the people here in the credit block are very small, and they're actually 2 lines. You see that? Now, it might look very small on your computer screen. Now, if you're dealing with a standardized poster size, a large standard poster size, then these fonts are not going to be so small once everything's printed out on the poster and placed on the wall. So you'll be able to read this text. It just doesn't look like it's readable right now. But this is the ultra condensed version, and this is so you can fit a lot of credits into a very small space. And so that is what this one's all about right here. Now all the text, the smaller text like technology, what I'll do is just go over here and inside my ultra condensed group folder, I'll go ahead and expand that, and I'll click on technology with the move tool, and you can see that this text here is separated from the other text. Okay, so the ultra condensed credit block does take a lot more time than if you were to create something that looks like this. Okay, because you're going to have all this other text on the same line. You can see that. You can see all the lines of text here because this is just one layer. But you need to come in here with the space bar and use the backspace to create the right amount of space between the the company and the people here and the names of the people, and then place the titles in between there. So it can take a lot more time. Come in here, I'll click the type tool, and I'll type out Flash Programming, and I can barely see that because that's so small. Let me go ahead and just make that a little bit larger, and I'll show you how to create the ultra condensed titles for the credit block. Flash Programming by, and what I'll do is just go ahead and click right in front of Programming by and press return. I'll go ahead and double click on that to select it, and then I'll come up here to the character palette and decrease the line spacing, which is the leading, which is right here, or I'm sorry, it's right here. And I'm going to set that down to 28 for the point, and then just decrease the line spacing once more. Great. Now come up here to the options bar and align that to the left or to the right. And so you can see now, all I can do is just position this, and let me go ahead and I can bring this over now and just fit that in right here. And when it's a ultra condensed credit block, most of the ones that I've seen, they get extremely close to the text. Not too close though. You want to have a little bit of space so we don't have any readability problems there. You'd want it to look about, just like this. Just like you see there. So there you go. I think that's pretty much everything. But also keep in mind, when you're creating the ultra condensed credit block and you do have the small titles like this, always make sure that these titles are aligned with either the top or the bottom of the names here. Let me go ahead and show you an example. I'll show the rulers, and then what I'll do is just click on a ruler, or I'll click on a ruler up here and drag out a guide. And this is what you can use, because the thing is that these smaller type groups, such as the title here, they're on their own separate layers. So it's not going to align to the bottoms of the other type layers for us. We need to actually go in here by hand and make sure these are aligned properly, because that is what good design is all about, is alignment. And if you do alignment for everything in the entire project, your layouts are going to look so much better. So always keep that in mind. So use the guides if you need to, and just come in here and position those guides either at the top or the bottom, or it doesn't really matter. and make sure everything is aligned to the guide. And everything will just look a lot more perfect. So there you have it. So that's how we can create credit blocks in Photoshop. But you know what? Most people don't use Photoshop to create credit blocks. They use Illustrator. And they also use Quark Express and those other types of programs. Because most of the time when you're creating something for a movie or a poster, it's going to be printed out. We do have some vector output with Photoshop, but most people create these types of things in vector programs such as Illustrator, Quark Express, InDesign, those types of things. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the next video.